have you done corporate gigs, and do you do the same kind of audience interaction in the corporate environment?
No, I do, but not really. Corporate it becomes a little bit risky because sometimes the funniest joke I can't use most of the time because they're too worried about, here's the criteria. You got to do this. And everyone's laughing, but then at the end you get that email, hey guys, you crossed the line. You said, I don't know, the word gay or something. And you're like, what's the point? This is not funny anymore. Mm-hmm. So, no, I try not to do much corporate comedy. Mm-hmm. Even when the inbound comes in and they're like, oh, we'll pay you, corporates pay very well, but it's not. Mm-hmm. It's not enjoyable.
So, in terms of material, yes, you create a lot of material on the streets and then use that and then create or test your jokes or test your style. This is your angle. And when you take that across Australia versus if you have to take that same show outside Australia, how will that play? What do you think? Have you tried that?
I think it'll be very similar. It's just Australians have a different sense of humor to an international audience. So, for example, we're going to be doing the street interview kind of stuff in Mumbai. Now, wonder when we do stand-up in Mumbai, is it going to be different? I think so. The Indian, I'm talking generally, but like the affluent, younger Indian audience has probably a very different sense of humor to Australians. Mm-hmm. So how do you navigate that? We don't know. I'll just have to see. We'll have to figure it out. Watch a bunch of stuff, watch a few comedians, and then try and be relatable. So yeah, it would have to change. We haven't done any international shows. We've only just done it in Australia because we know Australia comedy and it works fine across the country. But yeah, there is, in the end, you are trying to get the crowd to interact with you. Yeah. People like conversations with people. How do you make it funny? I guess there is nuances based on different parts of the world because they have different types of humor. Like, for example, I'll put it into specifics. If you go to UK, their level of sarcasm is way higher than probably anywhere in the world. Mm-hmm. They're like the founders of sarcastic comedy, right? And it's so dry and it's hilarious. But they're not going to get it if there isn't a level of sarcasm built in. They'll still get the jokes. The jokes are jokes, right? Australians are more... again, I may be being categorical, but it's more on we're okay with a bit of roasting, right? Let's be banter with each other, throw punches at each other, and that's great. That in America, maybe not as what they enjoy. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, and different rooms play a different environment. So you could be doing comedy in one room and they're very politically left-leaning. Mm-hmm. Another room could be politically right-leaning. So again, are you going to alienate a bunch of people by saying something completely right-leaning when you're in a left-leaning environment and vice versa? So
my observation of comedians in Australia, there are many politically right-leaning comedians, but their comedy is left-leaning. Mm. They don't come out as right-leaning comedy. They keep more left-leaning in most of the rooms.
It's safer. It's safer to be left-leaning. Going right-leaning is more dangerous. No, it's
clear answer. Thank you.
It's true. If you stick in the middle, that's the safest. Just be in the middle. So you go to the bigger comedy rooms that are more popular, you'll hear the kind of content that you could hear in a Perth comedy room versus Sydney comedy room versus a Brisbane, all the same stuff. Dating, marriage, being, broke, and it's just in the middle. There's no opinions because it's safe. And you want to get rebooked, so you just sit in the middle. You don't make any, and if you try and go too far this way, then you'll notice right after you go too far that way, and back you're in the middle. So that's boring. It's so boring. But that's what you have to do if you want to get booked, right? So it's like playing any game. Like, those are the rules of the game. But if you can be outside of the confines of the comedy rooms, you can do whatever the hell you want. Mm-hmm. But left is always safer. If your opinions in comedy are pro-LGBT, whatever other main things there are, like pro-Palestine, for example, you take any sort of hard, all these things, it's a safer place to be. You say anything that's more on this side, you know, if you're trying to be Donald Trump of comedy, you're gonna
you would be the homeless.
you'll get into more trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.